used to think that I am actually pretty late. But when I have conversations with people, that's when I find out that I'm actually doing things early. But for me, it's always been, I think, internal pressure, where I'm just like, no, by 30, there's certain things I want for myself. And they can't happen if I wait for campus to end. When you're in campus, you try. The good thing about starting while in campus, or starting as early as you can, even if you're in high school, is that you start early, you fail early if there is any failing that needs to be done, and then you succeed early.
Welcome to Work in Progress Africa. This is a space for professionals navigating careers, entrepreneurship, and the messiness of growth. Honest conversations and real life stories. We are here to elevate you to becoming incredible you.
Whether you're starting off or figuring out as you go, you are in the right space. We see you, we hear you, and we deeply believe every path has a story. Hi, incredible people. Welcome and welcome again to yet another episode of Work in Progress Africa. We are happy to be doing this, and we are happy to be walking this journey with you. Today we have a very interesting topic and a very interesting guest that we have brought for you. And I can't wait to get into the conversation. And also for the first time, we have an audience, our esteemed audience. Hello, people.
Hey!
Yeah, we are happy for that. But before we go into the conversation, first I need to know how are people doing. How are you, Noel?
I am ecstatic. That's what you used to use it in conversations to mean very joyous, very excited. Just excited, especially for this episode. So happy to be doing this yet again.
Great.
Yeah.
Our lovely guest. Before you tell us who you are, how are you today?
I'm doing well, and I am happy and very honored.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. I am happy. Thanks for asking.
Wow.
I am happy and doing well, and I'm happy that I'm radiating joy. Anyway,
Yeah, today you came in very joyous. We just borrowed. So, your vibe is good today.
Yeah, and also, in fact, we have just started. It's like we have just dived into it because our banter for today is tell us your mood in a weather. Express it in a form of, if your mood was the weather, how are you feeling today?
Out of curiosity, if someone says rainy, what does that mean? Tough weather or beautiful?
I don't know. You can give us context. So if you tell us rainy, tell us there.
I think it's a beautiful summer. Just beautiful summer. Just coming out of winter and the sun is out. No, actually coming out of spring because then it gets a bit warm. So my weather is sunny.
You look like summer, even how you've dressed.
Thank
That's
you.
good. Yes.
Yeah, for me, I'd say, just like Noel, mine is sunny with rainbows everywhere. I'm just feeling happy.
Oh,
Yeah.
you,
I just
Joy?
feel I should just copy enough from you. Because why am I saying something different?
No. We say the truth. Nothing but the truth.
My weather is bright. It's sunny. It's not very windy. It's calm. Yeah.
Beautiful weather.
Yeah, and today you're talking about something mental, something vision, and everything in between. And so the next question is in line with that. Tell us a hack that you have found out in life that works for you to beat just the natural response of the body or the mind. Anything.
I am tempted to answer, but I think it will be a disservice before we do the introduction of our guest, no?
True, by the way.
Yeah. Our honored, very honored.
Guest. You know, by the way, just banter. Before I reached out to you, I reached out to your very able CTO.
Wow.
And they told me your week is so packed. So I just crossed fingers and said, I hope you'll be available. So thank you for honoring us with your
And squeezing us in your busy schedule.
No, I'm honored to be here. Come on.
Yeah, tell us about yourself. I know it's cliche in many interviews, tell us about yourself, but just tell us about yourself.
Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you so much for having me and for reaching out. You should have never second guessed that. I would have been very honored from the onset. So I am Diana Ngethe. I am a builder, a founder. I would like to say very ambitious and driven. Also, from very recently, I am also very audacious. Yeah, but other than all those qualities, I am also a daughter and a sister.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jo, this is how you introduce yourself.
I like
Don't hide back. Yeah?
I like introduction.
Oh my gosh. Yes, me personally,
like audaciousness.
yeah. Yeah, it's getting there. Woo.
Yeah. We are excited to have you also. And we are honored also.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's go to the question before you'll tell us now what you do and more of that. Yeah, so the question was just tell us, everyone can go, a hack that you have found to beat the natural response of the body.
Okay, so I can go first.
Anyone, yeah.
Great. So I think one of the things that I learned recently was to sit with my emotions before I react. Because previously I used to react based on emotion, and I found that most of my judgment was not the best. So I found that pausing before I actually react worked better. Like, even I can just see the output. Like, if I sit with something first, I think it through before I react, it just makes more sense. And I don't regret the decisions that I make.
Wow.
Do you ever catch yourself reacting without... Because like, sometimes I also try to practice that, but sometimes it just sleeps. You find you have just reacted.
Yes, I do. But I try to keep quiet and just, especially if it's people-centered, I just keep quiet and let it slide fast so that I control how I react. Because again, remember, we might not be responsible for how people feel, because sometimes you might just say something because it feels right to you, but they misinterpret it. But I learned that at the end of the day, how they feel will still weigh on you. Yeah. So I just try to just back off and just let it sit first, and then I see how best can I actually approach this, and then now I react.
I'm learning that in my age, man.
What about you?
It's funny. So what she just described, recently I learned a word for it: emotional regulation. So you do not have emotional leakages. And essentially, in the course I mentioned, the path towards that is you measure. So you had 10 normally, now you have 5 in a week, then 3, then it gets to 2, then now it's get better. So
So you measure the times you have reacted.
yeah. So commendable work. Gosh,
Still work in progress.
we are glad there is work. Personally, I'm learning to use physical fitness to let as an emotional outlet. I typically would use it just to think, but now with full understanding, I also use it as an emotional outlet. So that by the time, that's capturing or tapping onto what she said, Diana, is so that by the time I'm coming to give you a response, it is actually a regulated response. I can vouch that I thought it through and I'm okay with the output. Yeah, so I'm using physical fitness and also just mindfulness. So moment to be quiet, moment to think through my decisions through the day, especially through the day, what went right and what went wrong. Yeah, and learn it better the next day. Yourself.
Wow. myself, hey, you people have said serious things now. You feel like I'm about to say something that doesn't look serious. Anyway, but since we started talking about high school vocabulary, for me it's when my heart has started beating like the West African tom-tom drums. You remember that thing? Anyway, but when fear tries to encroach, I don't know. Okay, most millennials, I don't know if you have watched Grey's Anatomy. I borrowed it from there.
There's a millennial here. I'm not a millennial.
And I've seen it with other people also. So they say, okay, maybe I might need to show that when to now bring the confidence, you just put your chest out, like how Superman does it. And you just take a heavy breath. You know, I thought it's a joke, but it actually works.
Ooh,
Yeah.
interesting.
And you take a deep breath, so it just clears out everything. So for them, they were doing some surgeries that too. But yeah, anyway, that's for me.
Very interesting.
I love what you've said because actually part of what we learn in school is breathing techniques, and it's true. I also didn't think they worked.
True.
Yeah, and so trying them out, I actually see that there are actually techniques you can use to like calm yourself down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have just mentioned school, and it's a good way to dive into the episode to tell us about what you do in school, beyond school, and everything around it.
Okay. So I started by mentioning that I am a founder.
Wow.
So I run a mental health organization. It's called Mental Beacon. So Mental Beacon is a mental health organization whose aim is to bridge the gap between mental health awareness and mental health support that's actually accessible. And aside from Mental Beacon, I am also a student psychologist. I am still in school, still pushing that needle. Just so that even after getting out of school, I actually feel credible. I think that I am actually doing this for me, so that I feel credible running Mental Beacon.
That's just amazing. You know, some of us in campus, I don't know what. Me personally speaking for myself, all I did is study. At least that's what I knew. It's what took me there. And a bit of a social life, but mainly just study. But yeah, so no, a lot of what are you doing in campus?
I don't think you guys should know because it might just discredit me. But really, I'm very proud of what Diana you're doing. The first time I saw her Instagram, I was like, this must have been someone who's out here, I don't know, working. I don't know. I just had, like, she's really moved on past campus. Then by the time we are getting to actually have this conversation of having her on board, and then I went through her Instagram account again, I was like, gosh, this is commendable. Good job. And it's beautiful that you are figuring out these things way early. Yeah, some people start figuring this out in 40s, in 50s. Really beautiful. And you are really doing the work to impact, to change lives, to touch, to bridge the gaps. Joy, bridge the gap.
Thank you.
Really honored. So, yeah, really commendable.
Thank you. I actually used to think that I am actually pretty late. But when I have conversations with people, that's when I find out that I'm actually doing things early. But for me, it's always been, I think, internal pressure, where I'm just like, no, by 30, there is certain things I want for myself, and they can't happen if I wait for campus to end. So,
Ambitious,
that's how it's been for
driven,
me.
audacious. Then
So
goes.
what was there a moment that pushed you to want to start that? Or what was the motivation behind it?
For Mental Beacon,
Yes.
it's actually lived experience. So I struggled with my mental health when I was in high school, but I was so fortunate to have people around me who held my hand through it. Like, I never felt like I went through it alone, which I think is what contributed to me actually getting better and getting through that storm I was in at the time. However, before people got on board and started understanding what was happening with me. Even I did not understand what was happening. I just knew that I would get up feeling some type of way. I wouldn't want to interact with people. I wouldn't want to talk to people. And then when I finally found the language for it, after when it was finally brought to the attention of administration in school, I saw a psychologist. She finally gave me a language for it. She told me what I was struggling with. It was depression and anxiety. And that's when it finally made sense. And I felt like there's actually a solution to what I am going through, because there's actually a name for it. Because before I wouldn't even know how to explain it. And so, given that, one, I did not have a language for what I was experiencing, and then two, I had so many people who are very willing. This is family, this is friends, this is administration in school as well. They were very willing to hold my hand through it. After I got better, I actually realized that not many people have that around them. They don't have support systems. And so that's how Mental Beacon came to be. We wanted to make sure that no one ever has to go through anything alone. So safe spaces, communication, conversations, all of it.
That's beautiful. That's just, I don't even know what to add to that, but it's just so inspiring also. Because sometimes also we go through something that pushes us to avail the solution to more people, because experiencing something makes you see the need of it, the need of being the help being there out there. So that's good.
Yeah, that's actually true, because I don't think if I did not struggle with it, I would have ever seen the need for such a safe space in our communities. So I feel like experience is the best teacher, and it just had to happen like that, because then now I am paying it forward.
Can I ask, just in the same storyline, did you decide now to take your course by then in high school, or how did it end up that you actually find yourself in the same field that did help you while you're in campus? In high school, sorry.
Okay, so actually when I was in high school, I wanted to do so many different things. I was not even sure what I wanted to do when I left high school, but I actually did not end up in psychology first. I did procurement first after high school, and then I went for my attachment. It was a whole experience. It was amazing, but I just realized that it's not for me, if I can say that. And then so the logical step would have been to advance in procurement still, but I started procurement again for like a few weeks, and then I found out that I can actually like do a whole 360 and pick something that I am actually interested in. And I just found myself in psychology, and it just made so much sense for me because of Mental Beacon, because I was running, Mental Beacon started in 2023, December, but I started doing psychology last year, May. 2025.
So already it was running?
It was already running.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
So what made you want to do psychology specifically? Is it to be more professionally aware of, so that you can support Mental Beacon in a better way? Or was it out of just passion?
Okay, so first it was purely passion, because with Mental Beacon, I realized that I actually thrive in spaces that allow others to also thrive and grow and get better and achieve their potential. And so I found that psychology would allow me to do that the easiest, because I love talking to people. I love having conversations and like just trying to see, how are you thinking? And is the way you're thinking actually helping you or not? So that we try and do better for you. So it was purely out of passion. But then when I started seeing the things we are learning in class, I was like, hiya, this thing actually gives me credibility for Mental Beacon. Like I can actually go and say that I am a psychologist after.
Certified.
And exactly. And it will just sell me easily. And I started to realize that it would have actually been more difficult if I was not in the field. Yeah.
Oof.
today you're just learning. Anyway, so you organize these events. I saw the vision board event you had. Recently, I saw the Ololua Trail Park. I'm a silent follower. One time
I see you've been observing. We need to have you next time. Yeah.
Yeah, so clearly there's the importance of just clearing your mind and just your mental state in this, just interacting with nature. It makes you clear a lot of things that maybe you might be dealing with. So in relation to that, why do you think young people need such, especially maybe those in campus, why do you think young people might need such events just to clear their minds? And
Perhaps before she answered, can she also talk about the events for people who do not know about the events? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely do that. So we had a beautiful vision boarding picnic event in the start of the year, just to help us get grounding before we start the year, because we usually have so many resolutions at the beginning of the year, and then the year ends and then we're like, what happened to my resolutions? So one of the things that I noticed work for me and what I have been doing, and so I decided to actually share it with people through the event, was I work better when I can visualize where I'm going, when I can actually see it in drone pictures. And so that was the whole mentality and the thought concept that went behind the vision boarding event. And it was not just us putting pictures down on paper, it was us also trying to figure out how do we actually make sure that they move from pictures to practice. Because what separates doers from thinkers is the action part. So that's what we were trying to push. That's the agenda we were trying to push on that day. And it was a very successful event. We got so much good feedback, and I was just grateful that I actually did it, and that Mental Beacon played a part in the visions of people in 2026. And then for the Ololua one that she's mentioned, it was actually last weekend. We were in Ololua Nature Trail, and we just wanted an outlet for young people, because you see, this was at the end of the semester, so we've just finished our exams. Now we are going back home, but have we actually released everything that has been happening throughout the semester? Not really. So just like what you said about outlets and physical activity, that's the same thing we were doing. So we were having a treasure hunt, we were having some team building activities, and of course the walk in the nature trail, which was amazing. Maybe now to answer your question, why I felt and I still feel people need these spaces is for outlets. Because if you bottle things in for too long, you never know how they'll burst and who they'll affect. So for the nature trail one was specifically for that. And then for things like the vision boarding event, I feel like you are more accountable when people know what you're building. Unlike when you just keep it to yourself.
Because they say keep it to yourself so that people don't jinx.
Okay, yeah, that's true. And you should be careful about the circles that you're letting in on your dreams. But for us, it's usually a safe space. We've been able to create a community that's a very safe space to be in. And then the conversations that went on there, like you could just tell that everyone was invested in the lives of others, and that they actually genuinely really wanted the other person to succeed. So, and it also built accountability, because I saw my friend wanted to start gymming. And if I see that she has not started, if we have a conversation, I will ask her and she will be held accountable. I see friends of mine wanting to start businesses. And if I see that, it's been 6 months, I have not had anything in regards to it, I'll follow up and I'll try to find out what's happening with them. So yeah, that's the whole concept of just creating this spaces for young people. So it's usually for community, for a sense of community, for safe space, and just to allow them to feel seen, heard, and understood in those spaces.
In our past episode, we talked about auditing our circles and talked about types of people you should have in your circle. The challenger. Challenger is here.
I am a challenger. I am.
Clearly ambitious. So nice.
It's like you had the script to our questions, because you have already preempted my next question, which was the importance of having a vision for your career while in campus. Because you have mentioned for yourself, it was important for you, and or maybe you can just go back to it. The importance for people in campus having a vision for their careers. Because like for you, it might not be attached to the career that you're doing, whatever you decide to start, but there's that importance just know what you want to do with your career, and if possible even start something that might help propel it, so that when you're outside after campus, you had already said something, so it's easy to flow into.
So I am a big believer in visions and vision boarding and just knowing where you're going, because I feel like if you don't know where you're going, then you're living a purposeless life. Because what are you getting up to do in the morning?
Where are you even going?
What are you chasing? Exactly. So for me, I find that especially last year, there's a time before I went back to campus, there's a time I was staying home, and I used to feel so purposeless because I was getting up, I am not studying, I am not doing anything, and the days will just pass by, and I used to feel so drained. And then I realized that I thrive when I'm productive, when I'm being productive. And so I also found that it's the same thing for most of my circle. And it's true. I feel like it's very important for people to have vision and to know where they're going, because you see, when the vision is clearly written down and stated, every single day you get up, you know you're chasing that land somewhere. You know you're chasing that car somewhere. Like there's just something you're working towards. You're not just getting up to get up. And
and honestly, the young audience that you're going to watch this, you have heard it from your fellow young audience. Don't wait to graduate for you to start trying to have a vision for your career. Just start early enough when you can, and while still in campus, even before joining. When should it be? After joining.
Okay, maybe I can add to it. I feel like I'm usually of a different opinion when it comes to having a vision for your career, because I feel like campus is a time for you to explore, to figure out your strengths and what works for you. Because like for me, it's during campus that I figured out I wanted to do psychology. I have friends who did procurement with me who figured out that they want to do digital marketing after. And actually, this previous week, we had partnered with a different institution and we were having conversations with our students. And I had like 4 students just come up, and it just came up in the conversations, and they were like, I'm doing tech, but I don't think I want to do it next year. I'll actually change my course. So you see, I feel it would be pretty unfair to expect someone in campus to have their whole career mapped out, because this is when you find out, I am actually interested in socials. I am actually interested in creating content. I am actually interested in talking to people. So I feel like when you're in campus, you try. The good thing about starting while in campus, or starting as early as you can, even if you're in high school, is that you start early, you fail early if there is any failing that needs to be done, and then you succeed early because you'll have conquered that metric.
True. I think that's very true. And also, just to ice that cake, is I don't think in campus, even in our age, we can really map out our life, right? But to just, I think as she's mentioned, know your strengths. For example, she could say, maybe in campus by then, she just still would enjoy listening to people's paths, listening to people's struggles, and give earring a hand, I don't know, a platform that they would listen. Maybe then she could not have figured this is gonna be an institution, but that strength is mapped out as something that you can easily pick, rely on. And sometimes we think these strengths that we have need to be big things. It can be, I'm a good listener. So eventually it will actually, in the vision board, you just step, oh, I'm a good listener. So probably you'll put a picture of a group and you're listening. Then eventually it comes out, oh, I can actually create a support group. I can actually create a community.
Absolutely.
So I think it's just to map out the strength as she mentioned.
I think even the exploring in itself, it's a vision. A vision wouldn't mean per se like, okay, I want to do this exact thing, but the exploring, like at least have that plan. So the exploring on its own, it's at least, you know, that's your vision for the year. It's to explore and to discover yourself and know where you best fit in.
Least young people go exploring in the wrong places. Please explore with intention.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I feel while exploring, that's when you can figure out what you do well with the least amount of effort. And then now you can now build on that and now start mapping out probably your career now based on that and be like, okay, so I found that I'm a good listener. Maybe I can try psychology, or maybe I can try starting a wellness group somewhere. So things like that. But it all starts from exploring and figuring out your strengths.
And even at work, even if you are employed, how would I use this good listener for my advantage? Because sometimes it can be an advantage we have at work.
It can be.
Ooh,
Great. So we have learned that you run Mental Beacon and you also attend classes. So maybe we just go into from another student who might want to know, how easy is it for you to juggle these two? Have you missed some classes because of it? Has it affected your grades? Tell us.
Can I want to put me in trouble? Okay, so how easy? I would say not always easy, but still not impossible. For example, I am not the only person in my team for Mental Beacon. I have a whole team and they're all young people, so they're still in school as well. So we just create time for it. We have to show up because you see, Mental Beacon requires my energy. School still requires my energy.
True.
Have I missed classes? There are times that I've had to make some tough calls because of work, but I have never let it affect how I perform. Because, I don't know, probably it's discipline and intentionality as well, mixed together, because I make sure that I repay whatever I missed in class. I make sure I have gone through it and understood it, and then it has not affected my grades in any way. So at least there's that. Yeah.
So you said things that help for you. You have a supportive team, and
Definitely.
So Mental Beacon is a whole team,
It's a whole
and
team.
everybody's hands-on.
Yes. I know that even when I'm in class, work is still happening. When they're in class, work is still happening.
Okay.
We are all reliable and dependable, such that we make sure that no part of Mental Beacon ever suffers just because we have two different lives.
Wow, that's
are you
nice.
reliable, dependable? Let's go with the episode.
Teamwork is what do they say?
Dream work.
Teamwork
makes the dream work.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it does.
Yeah. That's good. And also same for that young person who wants to start something, maybe, or also for yourself, introspect into yourself. How has running Mental Beacon changed you as a person and as a student?
Oh, I love that question because I feel like it's stretched me in so many ways. Number one, confidence. So not many people might believe me when I say this, but I am actually very introverted. And I feel like Mental Beacon has really put me on the front line where I actually have to be there and I have to speak in those webinars and I have to speak in those events and I have to pitch people and make proposals, which has really added to my confidence. Every single time I do it, I feel like my mind remembers that last time we actually did it, so this time we can do it even better. And I think also discipline, because like I had mentioned before, I'm still in school, so no part of my life has to suffer, because remember, parents still expect that because they're paying school fees, work is your grades are still okay. And then the fact that this is Mental Beacon and this is literally everything my life is working towards, I cannot let it fail. So it has to, I have to be very disciplined for it.
You know, Noel is a big fan of the quote, if you're not disciplined, you're a slave to yourself.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
Yeah. So confidence, discipline. Yeah.
I am just thinking right now, every other guest we've had has touched on discipline. Dear young person, you have to be disciplined.
I think discipline is key just in life. Everything.
It's just a must.
There's no failed discipline wouldn't carry through.
Unless you want to be a slave to yourself.
Yeah. There's that.
And it's not easy. Discipline takes work. Because it's one thing to be a thinker, like you said, but now the action, it's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy to have all these big plans. But now the action is where it matters.
But we're seeing people who are actually doing it, so it can
possible.
be done.
Yeah, actually, one thing I realized is that there's nothing new you'll ever do under the sun, just that maybe you'll do it better and more innovated. But it's been done before. People are running businesses, so you can also run a business. People are juggling through careers. You can also do that. So it's never anything new under the sun.
Ooh, a class in session.
Today it's a great one. Anyway, as we are winding up, maybe I've had a bit of what you people are intending to do, the scope of what you're intending to do, and it's just fantastic. And maybe just tell us where do you see Mental Beacon in 5 years from now?
Oh, in 5 years, I see Mental Beacon moving from just events to actual programs that run in campuses, in corporates, in high schools, because that's where our target audience is. And I also see us being the first thing people think of when they think mental wellness. And I want us to also venture into the digital solutions of mental health, because I feel like if you are able to pick up your phone and actually find something that offers mental health support, then you don't have to struggle alone. So you want to make sure that in every single way, we are creating accessible support for young people when it comes to mental health. Yeah, and so that's actually why we launched an affordable therapy network, where we have partnered with qualified therapists who offer therapy at accessible rates for young people. Because where do you expect someone in campus to get 6,000 or 5,000 for one session of therapy? They are not working, and our young people are either very early in their careers or still in campus. And there are things that you would probably not tell your parents about because you wouldn't want to have to explain why you need that money. So that's exactly what we are doing with Mental Beacon, just creating solutions and making sure that support is accessible for you as a young person.
Solutions, support, digital. Oh my God.
I had some of the digital solutions you're planning, and I was like, oh wow, I can't wait.
You were given insider information.
Information. That's really commendable.
Yeah.
I would want to be a young person in 5 years so that I can experience that. Yeah.
You still will be. See, youth is...
But I'm imagining someone in campus now experiencing these platforms, these solutions you're giving. Some of the struggles we went through in campus, we didn't need necessarily to go through with such help.
In fact, in campus, mental awareness wasn't... Because speaking for myself, I wasn't even thinking about it.
Because it was hidden in layers. People would drink, people would do things excessively and hide their pain, but really they just needed the help.
Yeah, true. Actually, I'm a big believer of you don't have to go through anything alone. And that's why Mental Beacon exists, to make sure that if you cannot afford therapy, you can afford to just talk to a friend who's actually willing to listen, because we found that most times people just need someone who's willing to listen, just a listening ear,
Yeah.
and they'll feel better. You don't even have to have solutions for their problems or give them advice.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
So much has been learned, and congratulations on the great work that you're doing out here.
Thank you so much.
You're
And
doing the
Excited to
good
see
job.
what the 5 years, the 10 years, and the future you're building.
I'm excited for it as well. Thank you so much.
Noel, what have you taken away?
I think I am hopeful that this, the information that we get out here is Gen Zs are sleeping, Gen Zs are complaining, Gen
They are
Zs,
not.
but no one is showing this side of young people really building solution, really considering the other communities around them, really finding ways to navigate life and make us incredible. So for doing that, thank you.
Thank you. It's
Fantastic.
usually an honor every single day that I get to do this.
Wow. You're so composed and you're so I love this.
articulated.
Yes.
What
so
do you
well
mean?
articulated. I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our audience, if this conversation has made you pause, it has made you reflect, it has made you feel seen, welcome to subscribe, continue and share it also with someone, because come on, we need to spread these great tips that you're learning here so that everybody gets to know these things that you're learning. So we are happy, and sometimes just knowing you are not alone in something, it's a consolation. Follow us on our socials as usual, Work in Progress Africa on LinkedIn and Instagram. Work in Progress.Africa on Instagram and TikTok. Glad to have you. See you on the next one. Adios.
Ciao and thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much for having me. You guys are being amazing.
Come on, please. Thank you.
You are.
You too.
Thank you.
Food section, we have part 2 coming. We have
part 2 will be
part
coming.
2 of this loading.
Sign me up.
Right. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.